Hey, what's going on? What's up, YouTube? So this morning we are gonna do an oil change on my truck here. Saturday morning, we gotta put a few extra hours on in the office. So it's really not that hard. A lot of people can be intimidated by their truck, and they pay for an oil change, which is fine. But it's something that you can do yourself, and if you want to save a few dollars and don't mind spending a couple hours doing an oil change, then stay tuned and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So all you gotta do, I already started this process last night, but it was too dark to shoot anything. But basically, all you have, it's just like doing an oil change in your vehicle, in your regular car. So you have your drain plug right there, and you're just gonna turn it to the left to loosen it. As soon as you remove that plug, it's gonna shoot out. Something that I find works really good is a bucket, because as you can see, it's the perfect height from the floor to the oil pan. Also, the width of the bucket, the diameter, is perfect, because it'll shoot out this far, but then it'll start slowing down. So this works really good. Let me show you what you're gonna need. So the socket, or the drain plug, it's actually a 32 millimeter plug. So what I use this 32 millimeter socket. But what you can also use, because I mean, if you buy this and you buy this, it could start adding up depending on what brand you get. If you're kind of short on cash, or if you want to save some money, you can always get one of these, and that will save. And then you will still be able to. Oh, it fell. You will still be able to loosen it and tighten it. So you need a tool to remove the drain plug, and then you're also going to need a lot of oil. So my engine is a C7. It can hold 7 gallons. I get this stuff right here at Walmart, or I get it at Costco. Costco is cheaper when it's on sale, and Walmart is always out of stock, so you kind of have to look around for that. Usually when you do an oil change, you also want to change out your filters. This Cat C7 uses the 1807 filter. That's the oil filter. It's usually a good idea to change out your fuel filters when you do an oil change. At least I do. Well, I change out the fuel filters every other oil change. So I usually keep these two fuel filters on for about 500 hours. This one gets swapped out with every oil change, every 7,500 miles. Caterpillar recommends 10,000 miles. I personally rather do it at 7,500, which is, for me, it's about once every 2 months. All right. So once you empty out your oil, you want to remove the filters. Under the hood, on the driver's side, this is your fuel filter right here, and over here is your other fuel filter, which on some vehicles, maybe mine is supposed to be that way, I'm not too sure. You're supposed to have a fuel water separator. I've seen other M2s, and they have a fuel water separator right there. I'm not sure if mine is supposed to have it there and it doesn't. I did get this pre-owned, but what I've been doing, I just been buying the same filter that was already there, and I just replace it with a new one. I need to do a little more investigation on that. And then on the passenger side, it's hard to see from here, but your oil filter is right there, and it's always easier to get it from the bottom than through the top. If you get it through the bottom, you'll be able to get to it much easier. One thing you gotta keep in mind is as soon as you loosen it, oil might pour out from the top, so it's a good idea to have your bucket placed underneath it before you remove it. Another thing that I'm gonna be doing today, since I'm already under the hood doing the oil change, is I'm gonna be swapping out this hose right here. I just noticed last week or earlier this week, that it's actually leaking. So it's got these little bumps right here. And what I did last time is I squeezed it while the engine was running. See, you can see there's actually fluid coming out of there. So I saw that and I immediately thought it's gotta get swapped out. It doesn't seem too hard. It's got this connection on the other side right here, and I think it's just basically a simple screw on, and then it's got another one down here. It's a little bit harder to see, but it's this one right here, and it's got kind of like the same terminal down there, so the same connection. So I think it's oil in here. I'm not 100% sure. I hope it's oil. I've already emptied out the pan, and this would be a perfect time to remove this hose. I'm not sure what to expect. I don't know if stuff is gonna shoot out or anything, but hopefully not. So as far as the new one goes, I've already gotten it. I went to Caterpillar. I went to Caterpillar with the part number, and they were able to get, and then they got me this hose. They actually didn't even have it in stock, but with the part number, they were actually able to build one right away. It only took them like 10 minutes. This little band right here, this little ring, has the part number on it. So if you ever need to replace that, just look for the part number wrapped around the hose, and then they'll get you one. So let me loosen that and see what comes out. Alright guys, as soon as I took off the first connection right here, the driver's side, I discovered that this was actually a coolant line. Coolant started coming out of the bottom part nozzle of it. I'm guessing from this piece right here, this yellow piece. So coolant just kept coming out, so I had to move quick. Wasn't able to show you guys the process, but basically this screw-on part of it, this terminal, is pretty simple. You just turn left, loosen it, turn right to tighten it. Pretty straightforward. That's the driver's side. However, the passenger side is a different story. Alright, so here on the passenger side, this is the other line right here. There's actually two pieces to it. As you can see, there is this one, and then there's the top one. So when I went to loosen this one up, the bottom one was stuck to it, I guess. So what you have to do is grab two wrenches, one for the bottom, one for the top, and turn clockwise. Or at least the bottom one, maybe you can lock it up against some metal piece over here, so that when you turn counterclockwise, this one won't, the little one won't move along with it, so that you can get it out. But I got it installed, it looks good. So now we're gonna remove the filters, the fuel filter. So we're gonna do that filter, we're gonna do this filter. Like I said, you just need to turn to the left to loosen it, and then screw on the new one. So let me get those off, and then I'll show you. Alright guys, so there's the old one. What I do, I just put an old container on the bottom to catch some of the diesel that's gonna pour out. it's upside down, so you're always gonna get some diesel pouring out. So then you just put on the new one. So put on the new one, and that's pretty much it for this one. There's no need to use the clamps. You just hand tighten it, and that's it. Then the next one, let me get that one off. All right, so I got the new fuel filter back in. We got that one installed. We got that one installed. Then you want to do your oil filter. So as I showed you guys before, just let me show you the bottom here. So this is where your drain plug is. I already went ahead and I put it back on. And then right above your drain plug is your oil filter. So all you have to do is unscrew it. This is already the new one, so I already did it. So you unscrew your old one, put your new one in, and that's pretty much it as far as the filters go. So once you have your filters installed, then you're ready to just pour the fresh oil into your engine. I take 7 gallons, so I have 7 of these. I use the Dello 1540 because when I went to the dealership, when I used to get my oil changes done at the dealership, that's what they said that they use, and that's what they put into the engine. So that's what I use. But I have seen some other mechanics use the mobile, which is also available at Walmart. All right, guys. So after we fill up the engine, what we gotta do is turn it on. Fire up the engine, let it run, let it idle for a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. What that's gonna do, it's gonna fill up the your oil lines, and the oil filter and all that stuff is gonna start circulating, filling up all the empty spaces, and then you'll notice that your oil level will drop a little bit. So then if you need to add it some more, then you go ahead and add some more oil. So I just let the engine run for about 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and I already checked the oil level, and it actually did drop quite a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up to the line, and that'll be all. And that's pretty much how you do an oil change. Alright guys, I hope this video was able to help someone. Any new owner operators out there that are needing to do an oil change. When I first started here, I used to take my truck to Freightliner, and it was cool. They used to charge me $280, which is not that much, I think, considering it included parts and labor. I took it there 2 times. The third time, the price had gone up. It was like $340. So basically, they were charging me a full hour of labor and plus parts. So that's when I thought it was too much. So I went ahead and I decided to do it myself on YouTube, and I couldn't find any videos on my specific make and model. So I did some research online and read some forums, and it's pretty straightforward. Regardless of what vehicle you have, the engine is a Caterpillar C7. So I hope this was able to help someone. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a pretty new owner operator. I've been doing this for about 3 years now. This is about my 5th or 6th oil change. So I'm just sharing the little bit that I know. There's a couple mechanics here who service vehicles, but sometimes they're too busy, sometimes they're unreliable. And another advantage of doing your own oil change is that you get a chance to get under the hood and see what is going on under your vehicle. That way you don't get any surprises out on the road. The worst thing that could happen is breaking down. It's happened to me a couple times. You're loaded, you're ready to go, and 30 miles away from the warehouse, a problem comes up. So if you get under your hood, you can actually prevent a lot of those problems. So I hope this video helps somebody out. Thanks.